So I wanted to take a moment and share with you what the report actually looks like, so you'll know how to prepare to share it with your clients. In essence, you're going to see 4 different graphs, and each graph represents the family's assessment of how they were doing on these 4 areas of culture, these 4 pillars, if you will: communication, cohesion, identity, and impact. You'll see a graph for each one, and you'll be able to easily see what are the areas of strength and what are the areas that families might want to work on. The great part about this report is after that initial cover page, there is 1 page of information for each of these pillars of culture. On each of those explanation pages, you'll see the graph for that individual pillar. You'll also see a definition for either communication, cohesion, identity, and impact, as well as some follow-up questions for families. It's a great encouragement to say to the family, take these questions, go have dinner together, go plan some time to sit around and talk about our culture, and here are the questions to get you started. In each of those 4 pillars, there's at least 3 or 4 questions for the families to focus on and to discuss together. I can see how this might be an area of the report that makes you feel a little bit apprehensive. And I want to provide some encouragement. Your goal in talking about the COREculture report with your clients is simply to model good listening and good questions. As you walk through this report with families, you'll be asking them, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are some areas that you guys could focus on? And what are some areas where you're rocking it? As they share with you, if something comes up that is a little bit tension-filled or makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, remember your job is simple. You want to validate the family. It is good to be talking about these things, and you're very proud of them for doing that. You also want to normalize things. No family comes in and has perfect scores in all of these areas. That's not how culture works. And so you validate them, you make it normal for them. This is great that there are things that you're doing well on and things you have to work harder on. That's very normal. And then provide them with resources. Before the meeting, make sure you have some ideas in mind. Perhaps you can recommend a family therapist that you know is really good and really qualified. That might be a help they need. Or maybe you're seeing some conflict between parent and child, and you can offer them a parenting coach. Maybe you have a great podcast that talks about family culture. Maybe you have a book that has really helped you and your family communicate better. These are the resources that you can bring and provide them to the family. Again, your job is not to solve their culture issues. Your job is to help them talk about it and provide them validation, a bit of normalcy, and then some resources that you have. You might be wondering, when should I use this report? Well, we suggest that you use it with established clients to follow up for deeper, more meaningful connections, of course. But you might also use it with families who have shared with you that they have a concern about their family culture, that they need some help talking with that next generation and they don't know where to get started. This report will help you help them start those meaningful conversations. You will use this for whole families to help them effectively communicate, whether they're really doing great in these areas or really need some help in these areas. And finally, it's great to use this with families who are working on financial plans, who might need a few tools for better communication to better connect so that they can set those financial goals.